Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome, welcome. This is going to be quick, but it's going to be good. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome. Hey, Shay. Welcome, welcome, everyone. I just want to do a real quick scope. Hey, Shayla. Just want to do a real quick scope that I believe will bless some of you on today. I've been holding this one for a week. Welcome. Invite your followers. Nice to see you. Invite your followers. Invite your friends. Thank you so much for joining. Welcome, everybody. Yeah, I've been sitting on this for a week, but I can release it now. So invite your followers. Invite your friends. Welcome, everybody. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Thank you so much for sharing. Thank you so much for sharing. Yeah, I've been sitting on this for a week. So I'm going to give you guys a few moments to invite your followers and your friends, and then I'm going to have to head back to work. But I got to share this real quick. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you so much for joining. Welcome, everybody. Okay, so let me get started. So last Monday, I shared with you all how the month of May is to be a month of moments with God and a month of momentum. And when I talked to you all, I talked about even putting in your calendar, like you would do any other appointment, dad time, making sure that you spend time with the Father. So on last Monday, I did as I instructed you all, and I was having my dad time. So I was laying there and I was just meditating on the goodness of God and who he's been in my life, and the things that I know that he's promised me, and just different things. So while I was laying there, I heard one word, and the word was expecting. And I was like, oh, wow, that's a pretty cool word, since this is the week of Mother's Day. And when a woman is pregnant, another term for pregnant is expecting. And no, I'm not expecting, not in that way. So I was like, okay, that's pretty cool, expecting. And I laid there for a moment, and I was meditating on that word and what that word could possibly mean. But then I heard the following question. You've been giving, but are you expecting? Oh my gosh. That had me messed up all week. You've been giving, but are you expecting? And then I had to go to the scriptures, and I have my notes. The reason why I could not share this until today was because this was a part of the offering message that I had to give on yesterday at Regency. So I couldn't leak it on Periscope, but I had to share it with Regency yesterday. So now I can release it to you all today. So then I was like, oh my God, you've been giving. You've been giving. You've been giving. You've been giving. But are you expecting? So then I started looking at scripture, because it's just like expecting. Like, what should I be expecting? How should I be expecting? How should I posture myself for expecting? Because as the week progressed, I actually repented for the times that I've given without having an expectation. So I was just like, okay. Went and looked at Luke 6:38. And most of us know this scripture. Give, and it shall be given unto you. Good measure, pressed down, shaken together, and running over shall men give unto your bosom. But then the question is, are you expecting good measure? Are you expecting pressed down? Are you expecting shaken together? Are you expecting running over? Are you expecting men to give into your bosom? And I was like, oh my goodness. I mean, I'm lit with this one. You've been giving, but are you expecting? Then you think about Ephesians 3:20. Now unto him who is able to do exceeding abundantly above all we could ask or think. Are we expecting exceedingly? Are we expecting abundantly? Are we expecting above all? And the more I thought about it, I was like, okay, I know I've been giving offerings. I've been giving tithes. But the more, because I just went and did some research to make sure I wasn't going to say this wrong. But you can, when I say the word give, I'm not just speaking of your finances. I'm speaking of your time. I'm speaking of your resources. I'm speaking of your wisdom. I'm speaking of your skills. I'm speaking of your capabilities. If you've been giving and giving and giving of yourself, giving of your resources, giving of your time, giving of your wisdom, giving to prayer, giving to fasting, giving to study, if you have been giving, the word says, give and it shall be given. So the question is, what is your expectation? What are you expecting God to do? And some of you might be expecting, but are you expecting exceedingly? Are you expecting above all? Are you expecting good measure? Are you expecting pressed down? If not, you should be. And I'm talking about stuff you've been doing for years. You've been studying for years. You've been praying for years. You've been fasting for years. You've been giving of yourself. You yourself are something that can be given. I just finished teaching 15 months straight. That's a lot to give. So it's just like, okay, I've been giving, but now it's time for expecting and having an expectation. And when you think about the things that God can do, I mean, really think about what good measure pressed down and shaken together looks like in God's hands, not man's hands, not your friend's hands, not your pastor's hands. What does that look like in God's hands? And he will allow men to give that to you. So are you expecting? If you're not, you should be. Like I've shared this with a couple of friends of mine. And everyone I share this with, they are getting excited. I mean, really, especially if you've been in this life and you've been living holy, you've been living pure, you've been living set aside, set apart, you've been that peculiar person, you've been doing the things that God has told you to do, you've given yourself to Him, you've given yourself to the Word, you've given yourself to prayer. Give, and it shall be given unto you. That's the season we're in. We are in the season. Israel Houghton has a song. It says, the atmosphere of expectation is the breeding ground for miracles. I have seen posted. I've heard it reiterated by the prophets, by the apostles, by pastors. May is a month of miracles. But in order for you to walk in miracles, you have to have an expectation. So are you expecting? That's my question. This was going to be a quick one, but seriously, some of us, our expectation got to go to a whole nother level. If we really sit back and look at how much we've given, not just of our finances, but of ourselves, it's time for us to expect. It's time for us to expect, especially in this month of May. It's time for us to expect. What are you expecting? And this is the thing, the more I even thought about the word expecting, when the question was posed to me, it's not so much as for you to say you expect something particular. It's just to have an expectation, period, because you don't want to limit God and say, oh, I only expect this. What if He wants to go above that? What if He wants to exceed that? So have the expectation, but let Him go as high, as far, as wide, use whoever He would like. Don't limit Him using the people that you know. Believe Him to put your name and your face in people's dreams. I mean, expect unusual stuff. Expect stuff that doesn't even make sense. Ask Him to exceed every expectation that you could ever have. But at least be expecting. That's what I got for you today. You've been giving, but are you expecting? So I hope that this charges you. I hope that this charges you to expect the unexpected, but expect it to be something larger than you could have ever imagined. Okay, I got to go back to work now. I just had to share this. I shared it with Regency on yesterday. I just wanted to make sure I shared it with Periscope on today. And I will see you all. I will see you all on Wednesday at 6 Pacific Standard Time. You guys have a blessed one, okay? Got to go back to work. Okay, bye. Come on. How am I supposed to go to work after this? Expecting. Really?